Hey guys. So I made this deck recently for Anki that has like kind of STOIC or motivational or Zen quotes in English and Spanish. And I made it because I was making a lot of my own decks using ChatGPT and Anki and Hyper TTS, the text-to-speech plugin for Anki. And I thought maybe I can make some decks that are useful in other ways, not just for learning Spanish. And at first I was doing ones that had like, I tried doing one that was, interesting facts, but it felt a bit ridiculous. And also you kind of only need to learn a fact once. So learning over and over again how to say something about like, there are frogs that can change color or something is just a bit like ridiculous really. But these quotes are quite good because, certain like Stoic quotes and stuff, it doesn't matter how many times you hear them, they're still useful. And the more you hear them, the more, particularly the ones that resonate with you, they kind of linger in your mind. So I've been doing that. And today I've been having kind of a stressful day. So I thought it'd be a good time to do this video. So yeah, I'll go through some of them. Some of them, the audio is a bit weird. That's kind of always how it is with text to speech. But generally they're pretty good. So yeah, this one. Never let the fear of losing be greater than the excitement of winning.
Nunca permitas que el miedo a perder sea mayor que la emoción de ganar.
Good. Success is the sum of small efforts repeated day after day. El éxito es la suma de pequeños... el éxito es la suma de esfuerzos pequeños repetidos día tras día.
El éxito es la suma de pequeños esfuerzos repetidos día tras día.
Pequeños esfuerzos, no esfuerzos pequeños. No sé por qué, pero vale. Vale, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. La felicidad de tu vida depende de la calidad de tus pensamientos.
La felicidad de tu vida depende de la calidad de tus pensamientos.
Vale.
La vida no es esperar a que pase la tormenta, sino aprender a bailar bajo la lluvia.
Life is not about waiting for the storm to pass, but learning to dance in the rain. Yeah, feels quite sort of live, laugh, love for Seneca, for a sort of classic Stoic philosopher. Feels like something someone would go on a gap year to Thailand and get tattooed on their wrist, this one. It's come up a couple of times. I've been like, really? Did Seneca say that? Learning to dance in the rain? That's quite bizarre. Yeah, anyway, it's good. Okay, good. True freedom is inner freedom. La libertad verdadera es libertad interior.
La verdadera libertad es la libertad interior.
Vale. La verdadera libertad es la libertad interior. Vale. La adversidad es la escuela de virtud.
La adversidad es la escuela de la virtud.
De la virtud. Vale. Life is like a play. It's not the length, but the excellence of the acting that matters. La vida es como una obra de teatro. No importa cuánto dure, pero que bien haya sido representado.
La vida es como una obra de teatro. No importa cuánto dure, sino lo bien que se haya representado.
Sino lo bien que se haya representado. Vale. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. No importa lo que te pasa, pero cómo reaccionas.
No es lo que te sucede, sino cómo reaccionas lo que importa.
I mean, yeah, you could say it that way. Okay, no es lo que te sucede, sino cómo reaccionas lo que importa. The mind that opens to a new idea never returns to its original size. Vale. La mente que se abre a una nueva idea nunca volverá a su tamaño original.
La mente que se abre a una nueva idea jamás volverá a su tamaño original.
La mente que se abre a una nueva idea jamás volverá a su tamaño original. Vale. La tranquilidad es el último refugio del sabio.
La tranquilidad es el último refugio del sabio.
Good. El fracaso es solo la oportunidad empezar de nuevo. Pero esta vez en una forma más inteligente.
El fracaso es solo la oportunidad de comenzar de nuevo, esta vez de forma más inteligente.
Okay. Yeah, which is true. As long as you believe it to be true, then it's true, you know. If you don't see it that way, then it's not that way, you know. If you perceive failure as an opportunity, then it can and often does become one.
La
Good.
felicidad no depende de las circunstancias externas, sino de cómo respondemos a ellas.
Yes, this is true. So happiness doesn't depend on external circumstances, but in how we respond to them. Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's within our control to a degree. I think that's the thing about Stoicism, and it's a pointless caveat in a way, because it's important that you believe. It's important that you accept that, you know, your mind is something that you control. I mean, there is just kind of a reality to how things make you feel, and how, you know, when things are going horribly in your life, naturally you're going to feel badly. Like I think there are very few people who are so in control of their own thoughts and their own mind that they don't have any negative emotional response to things that happen around them. But we have massively more control than we let ourselves believe, and it's something that we don't train ourselves to do enough from an early age, because I think we see things as, you know, for example, you cut your finger, you bleed, and we just accept that as reality because it's the truth. You know, someone cuts open your finger, it will bleed. And that's it. Like, you can do things after the fact, you can, you know, try and stop them from cutting you, but that's just reality. Finger gets cut, you bleed. It's not quite that way with emotions. It can be. I mean, I think, you know, if a loved one dies or something, that is more or less the same as cutting your finger and it bleeds. You can't really control that. That's almost just as inevitable as you know, blood being drawn when you're cut. But still, I think we have way more control than even those of us, for example, who try to, or who practice Stoicism or try. I think, were this just part of how we thought collectively as a species, and we were kind of raised to feel this way and to believe this, who knows how powerful we could be? Like, who knows how well conditioned we would be to kind of deal with things and be resilient, and to not let everything. You know, today I've been having all this stressful stuff happening, and I've been going crazy, and I've been like fighting myself over it, and that's what I'm doing in the end. I'm fighting myself. What's the point? You know, I'm just having a fight with myself, and it doesn't achieve anything, and all it's done is make me miserable. And I'm still thinking about all the time I've wasted and the money that I've got to spend on this problem and all the difficulties and the stresses and all of this. And why? You know, like, what am I doing? I'm trying. It's really hard. I'm trying to not think that way. It's very hard. Which is why, if you really want someone to hate you, then when they're upset, preach Stoicism to them. Inform them of your Stoic values when someone's going through a hard time. That's a good way to really piss someone off. Because it's so difficult to, you know, to accept when you're going through something hard. It's so difficult to accept you don't have to feel this way, because your brain, your ego tells you, like, no, I want to feel this way. You know, I am pissed off, I am upset, but we don't have to be. And sometimes there are times in my life when I've really been able to control it, and I've gone, no, I'm happy today. And I've been trying to do it today. Maybe by the end of today I will be. Maybe by the end of today I'll have conquered it, and it will be like a form of exercise, and I'll have, you know, put my reps in. Man, it is boiling. Jesus, I've got a chicken in the oven right next to this wall. I'm making a chicken for me and the dog. My girlfriend's away, so I'm making a chicken. Sorry, this isn't the point of this video, but I've had to make a very boring chicken so that the dog can eat some as well. So I'm kind of annoyed. I was thinking I would really like to make a tikka chicken. You know, smear a load of tikka paste on it and just roast the whole chicken in the oven. But I'm sharing it with the dog as a kind of treat, you know, because like my girlfriend's away, so it's sort of it's nice to, you know, treat the dog. And I'm gonna have this incredibly boring chicken with the dog instead. But it's baking. It's summer here in Spain, and then I've got that. It's not really roast chicken weather. Anyway, right, Spanish. True freedom is inner freedom. I think we just had this one, didn't we? La verdadera libertad es la libertad interior.
La verdadera libertad es la libertad interior.
Vale. La adversidad es la escuela de la virtud.
La adversidad es la escuela de la virtud.
Uh-huh. La vida es como una obra de teatro. No importa cuánto dure, pero que bien se haya representado.
La vida es como una obra de teatro, no importa cuánto dure, sino lo bien que se haya representado.
La vida no es corta, sino que nosotros la hacemos corta.
Life is not short, but we make it short. Seneca again. Most of the best ones, I think, come from Seneca. I wouldn't say that's an example of one of them, but in general, like, I think most of the best quotes come from Seneca. Marcus Aurelius doesn't actually have that many quotes compared to Seneca. I think has a lot of really good one-line quotes. Hopefully some of them will come up. Good. Okay, yeah. Right. Never let the fear of losing be greater than the excitement of winning. So, nunca permitas que el miedo de perder sea más grande que la emoción de ganar.
Nunca permitas que el miedo a perder sea mayor que la emoción de ganar.
Pretty close.
El hombre sabio no se deja llevar por las emociones, sino que las controla.
The wise man is no se deja llevar por las emociones. I guess like the wise man is not controlled by his emotions, but he controls them. He's not led by emotions. No se deja llevar. No se deja llevar por las emociones. Right. He's not left to, I don't really deja llevar. I guess it's like a kind of a phrasal verb.
La verdadera sabiduría está en reconocer la ignorancia.
True knowledge or wisdom is in recognizing ignorance. Socrates. Yeah, I guess it makes sense. I think that's not the only true wisdom, you know. Maybe Socrates didn't say it exactly like that anyway. Maybe it's slightly mistranslated or whatever. But yeah, I mean, there are other forms of wisdom other than recognizing ignorance. Success is the sum of small efforts repeated day after day. Vale, el éxito es la suma de pequeños esfuerzos repetidos día tras día.
El éxito es la suma de pequeños esfuerzos repetidos día tras día.
Sí.
La verdadera riqueza es vivir con lo que se necesita.
See, that voice sounded a bit funky, didn't it?
La verdadera riqueza es vivir con lo que se necesita.
Yeah, he's been chain smoking. La verdadera riqueza es vivir con lo que se necesita. So true wealth is living with what's necessary. True wealth is living with what is needed. Epictetus, yeah, and I believe he was a slave, so he would know.
La felicidad no depende de las circunstancias externas, sino de cómo respondemos a ellas.
Yeah, so happiness doesn't depend on external circumstances, just in how we respond to them. Epictetus again. I'm just going to say easy.
La vida no es esperar a que pase la tormenta, sino aprender a bailar bajo la lluvia.
Yep, so life is not about waiting for the storm to pass, but learning to dance in the rain. Good.
La verdadera grandeza consiste en ser humilde.
Real greatness consists of being humble. same thing. Okay, good.
La adversidad es la escuela de la virtud.
Adversity is the school of virtue. Yeah, it is, man. It's I can't imagine what a monster I would be if I'd gotten all the things I wanted in life when I wanted them. I think I would be an absolute monster. I've been humbled over and over and over again. You know, and life just punches you in the face like repeatedly, and you have no choice when that happens but to be humbled and to grow as a person and to be a nicer person and to have more empathy and to be more humble. So I think it's true. Yeah.
La vida es una oportunidad, aprovéchala.
Life is an opportunity. Take advantage of it. Make the most of it. Yeah. Cheers, Marcus. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. No es lo que te sucede, pero cómo reaccionas lo que importa.
No es lo que te sucede, sino cómo reaccionas lo que importa.
Sí. I use pero instead of sino. Pero, sí. Son iguales. Vale. La mente que se abre a una idea nueva nunca volverá a su tamaño original.
La mente que se abre a una nueva idea jamás volverá a su tamaño original.
And again, jamás, nunca, doesn't matter.
Nunca permitas que el miedo a perder sea mayor que la emoción de ganar.
Never allow the fear of losing to be greater than the excitement of winning.
La felicidad no es algo hecho. Viene de tus propias acciones.
Yes, very true. Happiness is not something ready-made. It comes from your own actions, yeah. I mean, we all wait for it to just be bestowed upon us, but that doesn't happen for many people. The Dalai Lama, interesting. Bit less keen on the Dalai Lama after seeing that video of him sucking that boy's tongue. That was weird. Or making the boy suck his tongue, I don't remember, but not nice. Don't go and watch it if you haven't seen it. Just forget it. Just stay right here. Just enjoy his quotes. Let's just enjoy some Seneca together. Let's forget about what the Dalai Lama did. Life is like a play. Yeah, come on, man.
La vida es como una
La mente
give me the
que se
same
abre
ones.
a una nueva idea jamás.
Yep.
La
Come
vida
on.
es un eco, lo que envías, regresa.
La vida es un eco, lo que envías regresa. And so life is an echo. What you put out, you get back. Yes, I kind of agree. I tend to agree more about your internal world. I mean, your external world is not always an echo of what you send out. There are a lot of people who are really kind and good and nice and live in very unfortunate circumstances. So I don't think it's always true, but there is a truth in it that, yeah, if you project negativity onto things, then you will see that negativity. Your mind is like a projector, so you're seeing the images that you're projecting outwards. You're seeing them in the world around you, so you will see an ugly, negative world if you look at it in that way. But then some people, the world that they're born into, the life they're born into, is so ugly and negative that there truly is no other way of seeing it. So, but that's the thing. I think with some of these Stoic quotes, to focus on whether or not they are literally true is missing the point. It's focusing on, do they have value and do they have a practical application? And if they have a practical application, then essentially they're true. I mean, it doesn't matter whether or not they're literally entirely always true or empirically correct. Like, if they have a practical application and they make your life better and they make you a better person, then, you know, more or less they're true. They're serving their intended purpose at least. Right, good.
La verdadera libertad es la libertad interior.
Yeah, true freedom is inner freedom. Yeah.
El hombre que sufre antes de ser necesario, sufre más de lo necesario.
The man who suffers before it's necessary suffers more than necessary. Yeah, this is really true. Like, when you're waiting for something bad to happen, then suffer when it happens, maybe. I mean, you don't, ideally not, but when it happens, you will suffer. But if you're suffering before then, especially when it's something you don't even know if it's going to happen, and you're suffering already, and then, for example, you've got something coming up, you're worried about this bad thing that might happen, and you spend like weeks worrying about it, and you're stressed constantly. And then this thing passes by, and it goes okay, it doesn't happen, or it does, but, you know, imagine it doesn't happen. And then you go, well, what? I can't have those weeks back. What the fuck was the point of that? Why was I so stressed? Why was I so upset? What did I achieve with that? Absolutely nothing, basically, you know? So it's hard, but it's very beneficial to remember that. Because there's always going to be a thing. There's always going to be something looming on the horizon, and there's always going to be something, something ugly in your past tormenting you, something in the present, something in the future. There's always going to be something. It's never going to go away. So unless you can learn to just be happy regardless, sometimes at least, then yeah, probably won't be. Good.
El hombre sabio no se deja llevar por las emociones, sino que las controla.
Right, so the wise man is not led by his emotions, but he controls them. ChatGPT has used sino a lot in these. I don't know why.
No te preocupes por el fracaso, preocúpate por las oportunidades que pierdes por no intentarlo.
Don't worry about failure, worry more about the opportunities that you lose by not trying. Yeah, this is more, I guess this would be a more modern one, because I put in some stuff here from sort of more modern, I guess like motivational stuff, and yeah, it's true. I mean, it depends on the level of failure as well. Again, I guess, you can nitpick with these quotes and say, oh, well, you might fail and die, or you might fail and, throw away. Oh, that's the chicken alarm. Hang on. I've left the door open to see where are you, Luna? You greedy girl. I'm blocking her off. There she is. As soon as I went to the kitchen to get the chicken out of the oven, she poked her head around the corner. Yeah. So that chicken's cooling off. Gonna be a plain old chicken for me. Anyway. So yeah, don't worry about the failure. So yeah, again with these ones, I mean, particularly some of the more modern kind of hustle, grind, motivational quotes, you can nitpick about them even more than you can with most of the Stoic ones. Again, I think it's more a case of finding the value that it has for you personally and not worrying, because obviously, like, you should worry about failure. There are some failures that can destroy your entire life, and so maybe you shouldn't always try. But if that's the case, you're probably going to know, and if you don't, then you're probably beyond help anyway. But for you, on a personal level, most of the time we worry too much about stuff that's, like where we should just give it a go. Good. Okay. Jack Canfield, no idea who that is. Good. True. Okay, I'm getting a little bit sick of hearing this one. And this.
La felicidad no depende de las circunstancias externas.
Yep.
La vida es como una obra de
Oh my
teatro.
God, they're really repeating these
Tu
ones.
actitud determina tu altitud.
Your attitude determines your height? Your altitude? Yeah. Oh yeah, height would be Altezza, see. I don't know who Zig Ziglar is. Your attitude determines your altitude. Yeah, to a degree, I guess. Yeah.
Haz lo que puedas, con lo que tienes, donde estás.
Do what you can with what you have where you are. Yeah, now that's good. Theodore Roosevelt. Do what you can with what you have where you are. Love that.
La motivación te impulsa a comenzar, la disciplina te mantiene en marcha.
Yeah. Yeah, that voice was a little bit sultry, wasn't it?
La motivación te impulsa a comenzar, la disciplina te mantiene en marcha.
So motivation, inspires you to start, or prompts you to start. Discipline keeps you going. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's true. Yeah. Zig Ziglar again. Okay, interesting name.
La verdadera grandeza consiste en ser humilde.
Yep, true greatness consists of being humble.
No permitas que lo que no puedes hacer interfiera con lo que puedes hacer.
Don't let what you can't do interfere with what you can do. Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that. Yeah.
La vida es una serie de momentos, aprovecha cada uno.
Life is a series of moments. Make the most of each one. Yeah. Yeah. It's when you think of it like that, it's helpful because you hone in on the moment you're in right now, not the bigger ramifications of it or the future, what might happen. You kind of focus, okay, well, right now I'm in this stressful situation. How can I make the most of it? Or is it that stressful? Can I make the most of it by changing my perspective and by seeing it for what it maybe really is, which is not that bad, Yeah, good.
La verdadera riqueza es vivir con lo que se necesita.
Yeah, good. It sounds like that guy's been like rolling his R's a little bit too much.
La verdadera riqueza es vivir con lo que se necesita.
He's broken his mouth from being too Spanish. Yeah, we know that one. Yeah. True wealth is living with what you need or what is needed. Yeah.
La vida es una oportunidad, aprovéchala.
Life's an opportunity, make the most of it.
La excelencia no es un acto, sino un hábito.
Excellence is not an act, but a habit. Yeah, sounds like Aristotle was almost getting into hustle grind culture. Atomic Habits by Aristotle.
La felicidad no es algo hecho. Viene de tus propias acciones.
To be fair, I wouldn't say Atomic Habits is hustle grind culture anyway. Really, it's quite different. Hustle grind culture, I guess, is when you tell people to get up at like 3 a.m. Otherwise, they're like a bitch, you know. Like just do like horrible stuff for no reason. I mean, I do to some degree. I see the value in that. You know, I like doing like difficult things and getting out of my comfort zone. But some people just take the piss. The best was I think it was Mark Wahlberg. Well, I know it was Mark Wahlberg, but I think it was 2 a.m. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, Mark Wahlberg's daily routine said he gets up at 2 a.m., which is just ridiculous. Like, it was already ridiculous that people were getting up at 4 and, okay, fine, 5 a.m., whatever. But 2 a.m. is fucking ridiculous. Like, there are no words to describe how ridiculous it is to get up at 2 a.m. It's utterly psychotic behavior. Okay, so happiness is not something ready-made. It comes from your own actions. Yeah.
La verdadera libertad es la libertad interior.
Oh, I'm getting a little bit sick of seeing this one now.
Cree que puedes y ya estás a medio camino.
Believe that you can and you're already halfway. Yes, sometimes.
No es lo que te sucede, sino cómo reaccionas lo que importa.
Yep, not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters.
La acción es la clave fundamental de todo éxito.
Action is the key to all success. The foundational key to all success, yeah.
El hombre sabio no se deja llevar por las emociones, sino que las controla.
The wise man is not led by his emotions, but he controls them.
La vida no se trata de esperar a que pase la tormenta, sino de aprender a bailar bajo la lluvia.
Yep. That's Vivian Green now, so it's not Seneca. It didn't sound like Seneca, did it, really? Learning to dance in the rain. I don't think Seneca ever talked about dancing in the rain. I don't think people had a concept of dancing in the rain back then. I think it would have seemed utterly ridiculous for someone to dance in the rain. Not that it's that normal to see someone dancing in the rain now, but, you know, we do have an idea of it. Okay, Vivian Green. That sounds more like something that someone called Vivian Green would say. Okay, well, anyway.
La vida
easy.
es un eco, lo que envías, regresa.
Yep, life is an echo. What you put out, you get back. Yeah. Yep. La verdadera sabiduría es en reconocer la ignorancia.
La verdadera sabiduría está en reconocer la ignorancia.
Está en, because it's located.
El éxito es la suma de pequeños esfuerzos repetidos día tras día.
Success is the sum of small efforts repeated day after day. Happiness, la felicidad no depende en circunstancias externales, pero cómo respondemos a ellas.
La felicidad no depende de las circunstancias externas, sino de cómo
El fracaso es solo la oportunidad de comenzar de nuevo, esta vez de forma más inteligente.
Failure is just the opportunity to start again, this time more intelligently. El hombre sabio no se deja llevar por las emociones, pero las controla.
El hombre sabio no se deja llevar por las emociones, sino que las controla.
La mente es todo, en lo que piensas, te conviertes.
The mind is everything. What you think about, you become. La verdadera riqueza es vivir con lo que se necesita.
La verdadera riqueza es vivir con lo que se necesita.
La mente es todo. Lo que piensas, te vuelves.
La mente es
Te
todo,
conviertes,
en lo que
te
piensas,
conviertes.
te conviertes.
Te conviertes. Sí.
La vida es una oportunidad, aprovéchala.
Okay, here we go. This fake Seneca quote again.
La vida no es esperar.
La felicidad de tu vida depende de la calidad de tus pensamientos.
Happiness in your life depends on the quality of your thoughts, yeah.
No permitas que lo que no puedes hacer interfiera con lo que puedes hacer.
Don't let what you can't do interfere with what you can do, yeah. La verdadera grandeza es en ser consiste en ser humilde.
La verdadera grandeza consiste en ser humilde.
La verdadera riqueza es vivir con lo que se necesita.
True wealth is to live with what's needed. Yeah.
La felicidad.
El hombre sabio no se deja llevar por las emociones, sino que las controla.
Yep.
La vida es larga si sabes cómo usarla.
Life is large if you know how to use it. Is long if you know how to use it. Life is large. Life is large. It's like a sort of UK garage thing. The life is large. Life is an echo, what you say. See, la vida es un eco. Lo que envías regresa.
La vida es un eco. La mente es todo. En lo que piensas, te conviertes.
Mine is everything. What you think about, you become. Yeah. Okay, I'm getting a little bit ticked off now with these ones.
La
I'm just
verdad-
Yeah.
La vida
Life is short, wisdom is long. That's weird. I don't understand that at all.
La vida es corta. La sabiduría es larga.
No, I have no idea what that means. I'm just going to say easy so we get some new ones. The minds are...
La mente es todo.
I don't know what's going on here. Life is a series of moments, make the most of each one.
La
Yep.
vida,
Yeah,
La vida es una serie de... La paz interior comienza en el momento en que eliges no permitir que otra persona o evento controle tus emociones.
Okay, internal peace begins in the moment that you decide to not allow another person or event control your emotions. Yeah. Yeah.
La verdadera sabiduría es.
La vida es un eco.
I
Lo
mean,
que
it must be the settings I have on the deck, yeah. Vale, la paz interior comienza en el momento en que eliges no permitir otra persona o evento controlar tus emociones.
La paz interior comienza en el momento en que eliges no permitir que otra persona o evento controle tus emociones.
La paz interior comienza en el momento en que eliges no permitir.
Yep. I must have some wacky settings.
La
on this deck.
felicidad no depende de las circunstancias externas, sino de cómo respondemos a ellas.
Yep.
El hombre sabio no se deja llevar.
La vida es corta. La
Yes. I get it. Oh my god. Oh my
La ver-
god.
La vida es una
I can't
serie de
escape.
momentos.
I can't escape this fake Seneca quote. Let's just even get rid of this one. Suspend.
Si quieres
Shoo.
algo que nunca tuviste, debes estar dispuesto a hacer algo que nunca hiciste.
Okay, let's finish on this one. If you want something that you've never had, you must be ready to do something that you've never done. Maybe, probably. I mean, it's again practical application. Yes. Thomas Jefferson. Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, that's this deck anyway. I mean, I don't know. I guess the more I use it, maybe my settings are wacky. I don't know if I've changed my like global settings for going through cards because I was doing a kanji deck for Japanese and it was like becoming it was too hard, so I made it so that I got more repetition. I might have left that on for this, so that's probably why. But anyway, you get the picture. Yeah. Maybe I'll do another one of these once I've figured out the settings. If anyone enjoyed it, now I'm going to going back to the boiling hot kitchen and prepare some chicken for me and the dog. So yeah, hope you're doing well, guys. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, take care.